Well, coming up, I wanted to make you aware of a few things. The Edge is a really high quality event designed to introduce people into even the thought life of Christians, how we respond to different things in our culture. It's sort of the first stepping stone event for a lot of people to start even thinking about the Christian world. Real Influences is the next one on the 19th of May. 7 p.m. for Eastern States, 6:30 for South Australia, 5 o'clock for Western Australia. You can register at Third Space. We've got Jerry Jones Sparks and Sam Chan, two very engaging speakers. We're going to be looking at that idea of the role that influencers have in our culture and how we may be able to be real influencers. So think about people for yourself who you might like to invite to that, and also people in your EPT for whom this might be a really important event. But also coming up in September, we've got our first national mission that we've been able to hold in a number of years. But it's a mission with a difference. It's not a mission with speakers. It's not a mission with a whole lot of events. It's a mission about conversations. Let's talk about God. So the idea is that across Australia, everyone involved in City Bible Forum to have 5 spiritual conversations over the month of September. That could be anything from, yeah, I'm a Christian, I go to church, through to, hey, would you like to become a Christian? And everything in between. Would you like to have a look at a gospel with me? Would you like to, do you have a faith? Do you pray? All sorts of questions or spiritual conversations that could be had with people. And our aim is to try and have 5 each. Now, this is already within the wheelhouse of what we do in EPTs. We're already seeking to do this. It's just the targeted, deliberate aim of trying to do it in September. And what we'll do is, once someone has had one, you put it up onto the website, and we'll be able to see the numbers tick over as we can encourage one another with the fact that it's happening. God is working throughout our country. If you have or someone on your EPT has a particularly helpful or encouraging conversation, you can also put a little video up just to record that too. There'll be also a bunch of resources available to kind of give you an idea of what sort of evangelism style might be yours, some hints about what conversations could look like. That will be a part of that mission too. More to come, but I think this is a first stepping point towards greater events involving churches and other groups across Australia. And can you imagine if we hit 3,000 people this year, maybe 10,000 in a coming year, the year after, if we can hit 100,000 spiritual conversations across Australia, how amazing would that be? Can you imagine what God could do with that? So that's coming up in September, more information coming through. Term 2, if you're like many of us and you're still struggling to get through Term 1 material, feel free to keep going. Feel free to put a point in the line and in the sand and just skip on to Term 2 as well. It's up to you. The material's here to serve you and your team, not for you to serve the material. But the material this term, we've got a study looking at the book Gospel at Work. It's got a really helpful chapter on work-life balance, and it sort of examines that. We've got some studies looking at Ephesians, how God's rule, Jesus' rule, applies to the workplace. The importance of rest looks at why Christians believe in rest and Sabbath and how that actually makes a difference in our witness in the workplace. Study on giving and relying on God, how money and reliance on God are related, and also how relying on God with our friends, how praying to God is actually a demonstration of how we trust in God and how God is the God who is trustworthy as we pray to him with our friends. Finally, thank you. It has been a difficult and weird and crazy start to the year. I think most of us were thinking that this year would see COVID mostly behind us. We didn't think Omicron was going to spread throughout the land. And for those of us in the eastern states, we certainly didn't think that major flooding was going to be a part of our journey away from COVID either. As a result, it's been hard, as we've seen in the results of the health survey. It's been hard to gather people. It's been hard to get people, and there's been a lot of effort, sometimes with not a lot of fruit. And so thank you for continuing to serve God's people with the people that he has entrusted to you. And it is our hope that we'll be able to see some fruit and some more, stability in the terms to come.